For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates.
The power asymmetry does exist, but that doesn't mean that China cannot be tackled. I'm using the word tackled and not managed. We have seen what happened in Doklam in 2017. There was a 73-day standoff. India didn't blink, and we are seeing the situation now. So power asymmetry is one thing. The second is the ability to use it, and the third is the capability of the armed forces. The Chinese have certainly been restructuring, they've been training, etc., but their forces have never seen battle. Ours have seen their battle-hardened troops. They've served in high altitudes, and the reports that we see about Chinese troops and their ability to stay on in high altitudes leave some questions there. The second point about regional integration, we have been advocating regional integration. We've been trying to do it with all the countries, but then the Chinese have also stepped in and with more dollars which they can throw around. However, that hasn't worked everywhere, and I can readily mention the example of the Maldives, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka too. In fact, they were here recently, though they are negotiating a new loan with China. I think the Chinese are getting a pushback in their own way. In Nepal also, there are some problems. The Nepalese went ahead and joined an American-sponsored program. The Chinese are unhappy, and I would guess that's one reason why Wang Yi is going to Kathmandu.
So yes, Kathmandu and probably Bangladesh after that as well. Since you're talking about what the Chinese motive for this meeting could be, or one of the motives, what about the RIC summit or the BRICS summit? A question that Jaydeep is also asking. The meeting was a precursor to the BRICS summit. How do you think that would pan out given both Russian isolation and the LSE crisis? Would it be wise for the Prime Minister to visit personally? How important is that summit for the Chinese?
Well, the BRICS summit is very important for the Chinese. It's essentially a China-led organization, and the Chinese economy overwhelms all the other member states' economies put together. So it is a Chinese sort of outfit. The other is the SCO, and there are summits due in both. China certainly one, it is a big thing for Xi Jinping himself, who is facing criticism internally. Chinese economy is not in a good shape. Internationally, China runs the risk of being isolated, and Xi Jinping certainly wants the BRICS summit to go ahead. But again, let me stress a point that with the Chinese forces being deployed as they are, unless they go back to April 2020 positions, I think it would not only be a bad idea, it would be a terrible idea if our Prime Minister goes to Beijing for the summit. He should not go. In fact, by not going, it will be denting China's image and Xi Jinping's image, which at this time, considering what they've done to us, is a wise thing to do. Final point, if I may make in this context, is that China's always had this feeling that regardless of any actions that they may take against us or punishment that they may mete out to us, India, after a while, will come back and accept the Chinese position. An effort to bend our will, if I may say, is what also this tries to represent. And that we must certainly not do. And I'm almost certain that this government will not do it.
You mentioned it earlier, Mr. Ranade, but if the attempt was to reach out, for China to reach out, a lot of double fork tongue speak here. I mean, considering what you mentioned earlier, the OIC statements and the resolution.
Exactly. That's why I said the itinerary was curious. What they have said and done before the visit is very odd indeed. It's not calculated to, win them any friends, and certainly not here. It was not designed to prepare the ground for some kind of reciprocity from us. So I don't think, it was well planned, unless, and I come back to the point I just made, they were so confident that India would accept what they say, since a reasonable, quote unquote, amount of time has gone by since the Chinese ingressed here in April 2020.
And we can't forget the decades of China Park, the nexus, and where all that has led us. We saw what happened. It wasn't just the OIC. Wang Yi met, of course, the Prime Minister, as of now at least, and the Chief of Army Staff, General Bajwa, when he was there.
Quite right, absolutely right.
And the parade. I forgot about the parade, the Pakistan parade, where Wang Yi was present and the GF-17s were flown.
Yeah, and he was enjoying the parade and watching the aircraft that, of course, the Chinese have made for the Pakistanis. But here, I'll just add one more point, though it may not appear directly related, which is that, as you know, North Korea has just launched a missile 1 day ago. And let's not forget that that missile is a result of a China brokered deal between Pakistan and North Korea.